Okay, do you guys see any reflexive sides or vertical angles? Reflexive sides. Most people did really well on the flowchart on the quiz. There was some mix up with reflexive though, so I want to talk about that. So 1, 2, 3. Again, the arrows are important because this is a logic argument. So this follows off of those 3 pieces of evidence. And I'm going to start with this side here. So I'm going to say side AB is congruent to side CD. And that's for the 1 tick marks, A, B, C, D given. Okay, now these right angles I'm going to do next, but I have to do all 3 letters because there's 2 angle A's. So I have to do angle DAC, DAC, that gets me that one. And BCA gets me that one. And those right angle symbols were there when I started, so that's given. And then I'm going to do the reflexive. So AC is congruent to CA. And I want to note a lot of people saw the reflexive and put reflexive, but reflexive should look like this, like sides. Some people put angles there for some reason. It should be 2 letters and should be sides. Okay. Triangle A, B, C. So I do alphabetical order on the top. That would be what? A, B, C.
This is starting to cover part of the crazy. So we actually cover
CDA. Okay, that's okay. Okay, now which congruence theorem is this one? RHL, yeah. Okay, so back like 3 weeks ago when I made these warm-ups, I wanted to make sure to put one that was RHL and then one that was not RHL with the right angle. So you actually have to think about whether or not it's RHL. You can't just assume. Okay, last problem on the warm-ups, believe it or not. Just stamp and stuff. I don't know. So triangle angle sum says add all 3 up to 180. So 80 plus 45 plus x plus 65 equals 180. X plus x is 2x. 45 plus 80 plus 65 is 190. Oh man, good for Friday. Minus 190, minus 190. And then you might start to get a little anxiety when you're doing this problem because you're getting a negative, but don't worry. After you plug it into angle A, it will come out positive. So don't worry about a negative x. You want to worry about a negative angle. And 45 minus 5 is 40. So 40 degrees. So I took the negative 5. I plugged it in there. 45 plus negative 5 is 40. Warm-ups check. At this moment, the glance through your warm-ups, you should have all of them done. They should all be done. I'll stamp those on Monday, probably. Okay. All right, guys, start with this in your notebook, please. Again, if this is too much for you, do not sign up for math 2 and definitely do not sign up for math 3.
I already signed up for math too.
Well, you're gonna have way more to write down in there, so. My math 3 kids are like, oh, remember the good old days when the problems didn't take a whole page? You're in the good old days. You don't even know it. I ordered these weirdly. You'll notice I put 90 next to 92. I did that for a reason. So think about that maybe while you're writing. Okay, so let's start with number 90. This one says M. What kind of a thing has an M? A line, yeah. Okay, so this one is a line, you can tell because it says M. And we write M equals X equals Y equals. This is from chapter 2. M is 3, X is 5, Y is 19. So we say 19 equals 3 times 5 plus b. 19 equals 14 plus 15. I just subtracted in my mind. I got the 4 and then somehow, I don't know, my brain moved too fast. Minus 15. 4, there's the 4. Okay, final answer, y equals 3x plus 4. You can already get a glimpse of the good old days of your own right there. So simple seems now. Okay, now we're going to do number 92. I know it's strange not to do 91 first, but out of the problems 90 through 95, 90 and 92 are both lines. So I want to do this again. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Negative 8 over negative 2 is 4. Which point do you guys want to choose for our X and Y? 3, 7? Okay. 3, 7 it is. Y equals mx plus b. 7 equals 4 times 3 plus b. Y equals 4x minus 5. Okay, do you guys have any questions about 90 or 92 before we move on? Those ones are both lines. That's way back from chapter 2. It might be the most important thing that you learned from the first semester. It's hard to tell. Graphing lines is also really important. Now we're going to do more practice on this thing, the exponential one, the B thing that everyone needs more work on. Okay, so I'm going to start with my graph 0, 7, and I'm going to make my table go to 356. So 0, 7 to 356. And then I count how many multipliers does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop? 3. Okay, 7 b to the third equals 56. Divide by 7. Cube root to undo the cubed, and most of us know it's 2. but it's a good time to practice being able to do the cube root on the calculator. I type 3 and then hit the math button and scroll down to X root. And if I do that, it'll plug the little 3 in there for me. Cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, and in this problem, B is 2, but what is A? 7. So final answer, y equals 7 times 2 to the x. Now, I made some assumptions when I started this problem. I made an assumption on number 91 that it was not a line. What in this problem told me that this was not a line? Yes. Oh, wait, hold on. What from this problem told me not to do y equals mx plus b? Yeah, the curve. Okay, no, it's okay. So moving on to here, you can tell because it says the word exponential. It doesn't say linear or line. It says exponential. So you know you need to do this thing. Okay, so -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. How many B's? 4. Great job. Okay, what do I do first? Was that what you were going to say, Sam? Yeah. Now, I know what this is because, this is my job and stuff, but it's really important. Sometimes they don't come out perfectly. So we're going to practice typing the 4th root. So I hit the 4 and then the math button and then scroll down to number 5, which is the x root. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now I have B is 3 and A has to be the number that's next to the 0. So I need to multiply by 3. So -2 times 3 is -6. So y equals -6 times 3 to the x. Okay, we're going to do 94 together, and then you guys are going to do 95 on your own. But I'll give you a minute to write it down because Okay, now number 94, you're gonna notice that the points go from 2 to 6, but you need to make sure you have a spot for 0 in your table. So start your table at 0. There always needs to be a spot for 0 in the table because you got to find A. So 2 is 144 and 6 is 729. Okay, does everybody see that it takes 4 B's? Okay, I'm gonna go 4. So I want the 4 through the math button down to number 5, which is the X root. And then I'm just so lazy. I'm gonna take the up arrow, and scroll up, and then hit enter, and it pastes it in there. Do you see my laziness? Oh man. Did you guys know the calculator copied and pasted? Are you happy about next week or not? That seems like a lot for you.
What's that?
It's a lot for you. Okay.
Mine.
Minor? Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go divide by 1.5 to go back up the table. So 144 divided by 1.5, that gets me 96. And then I'm going to go divide by 1.5 again. That gets me 64. So A is 64. Y equals 64 times 1.5 to the X. Okay, are these getting a little better? One of those things you need like do a bunch of times. Okay, I want you guys to try number 95. Give it a go. You can talk about it in your groups. You already do it.
No,
Okay.
that's what I do. I don't know.
Yeah. So what is the homework, you guys?
Right, A 96, A bar to skip A 1.
Okay. So as soon as we're done with this problem, I'm done teaching and then we're working on homework for the rest of it. But I want to make sure everyone can do this one. You already done? Did I mess anybody up by putting the points in the opposite order? I didn't mean to. I don't know why my box is so big.